maybe on one side, so you give your partner good feedback. All right, so a couple of key things. Number one, first thing is, let's just see you go ahead down in, touching your toes, and then reaching back over 5 feet. Well, you've got pretty good range. How does that feel? It was effort. Okay. All right. Typically what I'll do though is if you have a patient who can't touch their toes is, let's say I get down and I can get about this far. I'll have them just bring their hands to however far they can reach and put a mark on their legs. Okay? Why would you put that mark on their legs?
Reassess.
Yeah, when you reassess, you can show them how it's changed pre and post treatment with that mark right there. If they're ultra flexy, you can just have them bend their elbows, same thing. When their elbows touch their shins or wherever they are, use that as a measurement if you wanted to as well. But we got a baseline of function right here. So I'm gonna have you actually lay down on your back for us to begin. Okay, so I'm gonna work my way through. I will basically show some Psoas work. Then we're gonna go into the hamstrings, adductors, and I'll lay you on your side and I'll work through into your iliotibial band, that kind of an area. Maybe we'll stop right there and I'll get my favorite service. Okay? All right. Okay, so a couple of things right here. Number one, maybe you want to work on iliopsoas from this position. What's the technique that most of us should be using? Maybe we're going to go ahead and lift our patient up. Go ahead and just bend your knee for me. Okay, just rest your leg. We might find the ASIS. Is everybody doing this? Where you anchor in like here, and we go ahead and control that leg. Oh man, this is okay. All right, if it's too much, let me know right away. Okay, all right, because I can see like you're not. Hey, you're a good candidate. Like this, and we all get this load and lengthen right here. Right, we've all done that movement before. How do your thumbs feel after that?
Awful.
Terrible. I cannot do that anymore because I get aching when I'm doing it. My hips. Where's your instruments for this? Yeah. So what do you think I'm going to pull out right here? Okay, I'm going to pull out this one right here because now that is my thumb where I can go ahead and load in and do that same thing. Now the load doesn't go through my thumb or through any of these smaller joints, again, through the palm of my hand when you load it. The other thing to realize, like I said, you're losing a little bit of kinesthetic hand feel with this, so you won't notice how much pressure you're been putting in. Very good to have good consent with your patient here. Same movement is going to be done again. All right, this time we're going to go ahead and sink in, and if we watch this, big breath in, all the way out, all the way out, pretty good. So can everybody see how that's basically buried? Right, and then you can go ahead and lengthen out. Move it down a segment, a little bit. Same thing, you can do micro movements, yeah. Look at the wrinkles on their forehead as they're doing this. This guy is okay. You can spin it the opposite way if you want, and actually, so what I like to do is load in here and then push into the iliac wing a little bit more. So all this you would have had to have done before, trying to hook in with your fingers, hook in with your thumb in some way. That's putting a lot of load onto you. So right here again, here we are. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so that's a basic treatment that you can go through right there. I put no load on the small joints of my hands. Super easy for you to do that. Okay. All right. Do we all know Thomas' test or Gainsland's test? Do we? These people are nodding. Okay. All right. So this test, how does this one go? Isn't that the one where you go like this and bring yourself back up and see how the person moves? Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, do it with him?
No. Give us the quick run through.
Oh, basically, patient sits on the far edge of the table,
Let's do it.
sits bones all the way to the end.
Yep.
Bring the one leg closer and get
Yeah, totally.
to the little product. Perfect. And bring your knee towards your chest, and then lean back onto the table. And then typically you have to bend the knee farther down to see how far the hip flexor actually wants to go.
Awesome. Okay, fantastic. We're going to change it just a little bit. You're going to do all the same thing, except I'm going to have the tip of your sacrum right there, and you're going to go that way on the side of the table. This way. So I need your sacrum right on the corner like that, and you can do the exact same thing. Okay, and then bring yourself back up. Okay, so why do I like this better? Because now I can do both sides, and he's relatively balanced right there. So if you have good balance and you have reasonable height, unless you're like below about 4'10", you should probably be okay to do this. But usually, does anybody? Everybody's okay. All right. So all I'm going to do right here, if it's too much, let me know. Lean my body forward just a little bit right there. Okay. So that already takes the straps up a little bit. Okay. This foot is going to go around in front of your leg like this, and I'm going to bring you in like that. Yes, slowly, right? Okay, and what do you notice right now? Both of my hands are still free. So if I wanted to, I can go ahead and just... Okay, that's That's as much range as we can get. If I wanted to, I can just go ahead and work through here. You can turn this into muscle energy if you want. I'm going to say go ahead and push up into my hands. So push up, 5, 4, working, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Yeah, good. Okay. Look at it's great. Okay. All right. And even if you wanted to, you could pull out the instruments again and work into these areas, or just work with your hands. But look at how relaxed this position is, right? I'm just standing, leaning in a little bit. Great way for you to go here. Okay. All right. So those are some basics right there. But we'll get you back on your back up here a little bit. Now we're going to fade into the motion. Are you guys using? What's your preference?
It's not a good one.
It's not a good
lid,
one?
no,
Okay.
sorry, the lid just like the blood comes out at a time.
Okay. It's all right. So are you okay if we roll these shorts up to like right about here? Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So hamstrings. We did our basic assessment at the very start, where we can see what the range was. For this one, you have a couple of options. For most people, they're not going to be so big that you can't control them, but this might be an area, especially for the leg, where you pull out that stretching strap. You could take that strap, wrap it around their foot, and have them hold their own leg up so you don't have to work as hard. Or another option is just for you to sit down on the table like this and just give them that little bit of support right there, okay? So I'm going to dump all the yo-yo oil on me here. Okay, not too much. Oof, dispenser, this is awkward.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's all right, it's all right. Okay, thank you. All right, so this is more than I would typically apply, but just because we're going to go around the whole thigh right here, that's what we're going to do. So basically, you want to make sure that your instruments are going to slide okay over top. I actually would say for most people, I'm not actually stretching their hamstrings out, although I feel for you like we are almost in a stretch right now, because you can feel a little bit of resistance right there. Okay, so a couple of key things here. Number one, what's an issue that we always have is we always want to make sure we're avoiding what I call incidental contact, where I pull out my yellow card or red card in class for patients, or when you incidentally contact your patient's genitalia, okay? So a couple of options. Number one, make sure that you keep your hands away like this, so that's my hand hold right there. And all I'm going to do is, what's our first stroke called? Assessment.
Butter.
Back butter, sure. I already did that with my hands though, basically. Okay, you can do back butter, whatever you want to call it. But you're going to go through and do your discovery stroke. And already, okay, all right. This is honestly the most sensitivity I've seen ever. Right? But that's good. Right? So if it's too much, again, you let me know. What does it feel like?
It's kind of like more of a tickle than anything.
Okay, all right, so we can go, yeah, exactly. So I can load in a little bit more here. Okay, so all I'm doing is the same stroke that we've done before. Hey, if I want to increase dose, what do I do? Okay, yeah, just flip it over a little bit. And for you right there, like semitendinosus, membranosus, a lot of people describe this as grating carrots. Okay, sounds about right. Just kind of work through there. Okay. All right, if you wanted to, like let's say you wanted to go all the way up to the origination of the hamstrings, you could take this all the way up and just follow yourself right up to where the glutes are, right at the very top there as well. It's not my hands that are going there, it's the instrument. So it gives you a little bit of separation on the patient potentially as well, so you can avoid that extra contact. Yeah, all right, doing pretty good. Okay, so those are your options right there. And if you want to, increasing dose, spending a little bit more time, just want to do a little bit more through right here. Yeah, like right into there, you can feel. Yeah, like that. Okay, that'll be a basic go-to for the start of the hamstrings right there. You could reassess there if you want, but for the purpose of showing you guys multiple different things you can do. Next option would be to check the adductors. So if I can bring both of your knees bent up, yep, and then you're gonna put your feet together and drop your legs out to the side. And so here's my basic check for adductors right there, what kind of range do they actually have available. And then from here, what I'll usually wind up doing is supporting one of the legs. Oh man, okay, all right. I'm basically gonna stand up here and support one of the legs, but it's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna roll discovery stroke down the inside of the leg like this. Again, if it's too much, tap out. Okay. This kind of emotion right here. And it's the same thing. You can follow it all the way down, right to that point. And I don't have to worry about contacting directly with tissue. If you look at my hand holds, very easy on my hands, right? If I want to increase dose, all I did there was switch hands, but I also flipped it over. Same kind of thing rolling through here. Switching and jumping, but he's doing okay. All right. This is like, this is, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Just a second. Okay, so you've gone through this. So you've gone hamstrings, you've gone into adductors a little bit. They're not crying fully yet, so that tells you you can keep on going. Okay, so I'm going to have you lay on this side, facing that door right there. So next option is this. If you're going to run through, this is going to be iliotibial band basically, but what I get to do is back up so that your hips are right against the side of my leg right there, yeah, like this. You could just treat side body like this if you wanted to, just rolling through the iliotibial band. Okay, again, low dose to start, increasing a little bit. What I like to do though is add a little bit more to it. So I'll take this leg, usually, and bring it in behind my leg like that. Then my knee hooks in like this, and now I can actually control and move your legs while we're loading those. Is it okay? Good. Yeah. Okay, so actually a little bit better right here than I thought. There's some other stuff, so that's good. Okay. So I can get the front of the quads right here with a good stretch. I can use my stronger muscles against his stronger muscles. I can just twist my hips to do that. We can increase the dose a little bit right through here. We actually do it. Okay. This kind of movement.
You're creating your own branch of yoga.
I am. There you go. Okay. Yeah. This is also how you would initiate a triangle joke if you wanted to as well. So. All right. So something like that. Okay. So from there, I feel like that's enough. I don't want to overload you guys with too much stuff. So let's go ahead and just have you stand up and just reassess what you, how you went forward pressure goes. Okay.
I guess I feel one.
Yeah. So how does describe how it feels overall?
I don't feel it at all. The right side, I don't even really feel the stretch. I just feel what's going before, so it feels a lot better.
For some of you, if you look at one of the videos we put up online, you'll see like Susie, we did one treatment like that and she got about that much more range of motion on her flexibility. So, okay. It'll vary from person to person. So what did I do there? I went psoas, I went hamstrings, adductors, and then side posture for iliotibial band, okay? And that's quads basically. All right, pitter patter, let's get at her. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.